Welcome to Joshua channel. Today I am going to share with you with some 3 innovative projects that I have done. And those things can be called what? Tech solution. Yes, for the past 3 years, I started my project since 2019. That was my final year in senior high school. And then the first project I did was multi-purpose box. I did that project to solve a certain problem that we were having. I wanted to break a certain communication gap that we were having. For our science students, and that time we were preparing for the National Science and Maths quiz. So before that, we need to do some, let's say, some preparation in the school. From there, like the science department, they always do quiz every 2 weeks Friday. Then after that, they will select the group that will always work. They will be training towards the science and math quiz. So after which, they always go for what? The inter-schools. That is, they compete, the schools within the district. They always compete, then they go to what? The schools within the region. So, even as part of our school's different curriculum, what happens is that sometimes in the entertainment day, like a weekend, Saturdays like this, there are times they always take we always do inter-houses quiz as part of our learning. So what happens is that, but our school we were having 6 houses there. So we always do the inter-houses quiz as well as the science quiz, like every weekend, every Friday, every 2 weeks Friday. So after that, whenever they are to go and do quiz at the distance within the district, like other schools, but the science students too, we also want to always what? Take part. Like we wanted to listen to the questions that will be asking there. But what happens is that, as a whole school, the population is large, and they cannot send everybody there to participate or to what? To also witness. So what happens is that they will go there, do the quiz, then when they come home, they will now be telling us the results and then the kind of questions that were asked there and all that. But once we were all science students, we need to also what? Maybe hear some of the questions that they asked there and how they answered them, such that it also help in our learning and all that stuff. So when it happens like that, but we were not having any means and ways that we can witness, we can listen to the quiz. So there that I thought is that, okay, if I could do a device, if I could design a device that can actually make us connect with them, so that anytime they go to do the quiz there, we will sit in our school and also be listening to them, not through radio or television stations, because it's within the district. So I designed the device which I call a multi-purpose box. So when I did that device, we could actually connect that system to our school PA system, such that whenever they are to do the quiz there, we will also sit in our school. Then I made the means through which the connection is done is through phone. So they will go there, register, maybe the JARA or some service, then they will call the device. Then we will connect the device to our school amplifier. So then they will go and put their phone by the speaker. And then whatever that they will be doing there, we will what? We will also sit in our school and be listening to the questions. So that was what I thought, and I designed the multi-purpose board. And the system I designed was not only to bridge that communication gap. I actually added other components like light, where you can use the light for studies. I also added some radio, some sound system, like you can actually use it to also play music and all that stuff. Then the power source, I put a rechargeable batteries in it such that you can charge it either using electricity or solar. So that was the first project I did. Then secondly, I also identified another problem that was also facing the school. As science students, normally our WASI, we always write it within the rainy season, just like this time. It is always within the rainy season that we do. But as science students, we were grouped into three. We have group one, group two, and then group three. So when it happens like that, like there are times group one will go today, the next day group two, then group group three. So when it was happening like that, there are times we were also having power problem, power fluctuation. You know, especially this rainy season. Imagine you are having a paper tomorrow, and then today there is light out. How are you going to write? So that problem was actually a concern to me. So I was thinking that, oh, what can I do to be able to solve such problem? So from there, I started thinking of designing actual accumulator, which I call a power conservation box, because I wanted to actually like a daytime when there is light, I should be able to store current inside that accumulator, such that when there is power out, we can actually use the light to steady. For instance, let's say today we are to do practicals, then tomorrow we have a paper to write and there is no light. If you are not able to do the practical today, then tomorrow the paper is before you. Answer the practical questions, but you were not taught. How do you stay? How do you answer? So that was what I identified that it was also a challenge. So I designed the power box and then I put an inverter into it. So the power is designed with an inverter such that even with the AC bulb, it can what? It can light. But what happens is that I did that project not only to provide power, but to also let some of the students understand the difference between AC current and the DC current. People, for instance, people theoretically they know that there is AC and DC current, but practically people don't understand it. So when I did that project, I was able to explain to them how the DC current work and how the AC current also work, because that power accumulator actually have the two sources, the AC and the DC source. So that was the second project I did. And then the third one, which I call a bottle microphone system. Yes, this one actually was the main target, because even with the school, I most people will bear with me that for the north here, I know 100% all the schools in the northern region here, hey, the north here, they have such problem. And for the southern side there, I'm not there, so I don't know much about it. But what happens is that if you want, just roam the whole all the schools in the upper west regions. I'm just limiting to even this place, upper west region. None of them is having a microphone system set that can meet all the contestants unless the regional level. Because, but in our school, once we were doing inter-houses quiz every time like that, so it happens that anytime we are to do quiz, the microphone we were having were only three. So what happens is that the question, the master, the quiz master will have one, the timekeeper will have one, then they will only have one, but the houses are six. So what happens is that they have to now, let's say, give instruct one somebody that will always pick the mic. He will send it to this table. If they ask a question, he will give it to that person. The person will use, after which they will say next. If they give the next question to different table, he will send the mic again to that place. And what happens is that we were having challenge with that, because first of all, the mic were not enough to reach every table, which instead of them to be enough mic such that each table will have, so that we'll just sit comfortably and be answering. But somebody has to be moving around. And with that, no, they were always confusing because there are times they will be confused, like they don't know the next group that is supposed to be to answer the question. And not only that, once the mic was moving around, and I know with the wireless one, the signal was also a problem because there are times when you block the signal and the speak, it won't come. Aside that, the battery too was also a problem. You know, the wireless one, you have to put battery before it can work. So because of that, no, there are times we will not even finish with the quiz and the battery will run down. So either they will put the mic down and then they will just be doing it orally. And with that one, look at the population, about 2,000 students. So if you sit there and you are speaking, majority of them will not hear. So that was actually a problem. And once the science students that they were also preparing them for the National Science and Maths quiz, what happens is that there were some times that they will have the quiz, like let's say maybe today is Friday and they are to have the quiz. It happens that they don't have the money to buy the battery again. So when it happens like that, sometimes the thing is not always interesting because when you get up and answer the question, the rest of them will not hear what you have said. And so sometimes it always discourages the people, and there are times they have to even skip it. They will not do. So with that one, I said, okay, when I came home, I thought about that and I designed one. That one I designed, I made it rechargeable. And the microphones that I designed, they're about eight in number. The eight, I counted the people. Okay, the people that are to do it, to do the quiz. For instance, let's take it that if it is six houses, the school is about six houses, then we have the timekeeper and then the quiz master. So what happens is that the quiz master will have his personal mic, the the timekeeper will have his personal own, then the contestant, the six group, each group will have theirs. And the mic are also designed, it is rechargeable. You don't buy battery again, but you just charge it. But when you charge it, in fact, you can even use it three times before you charge it again. And aside that, no, there was also something that I wanted to also communicate. That is plastic waste recycling. If you look at the microphones I've designed, I use bottles, these soft drink bottles, such as the apple drink, the storm drinks, whatever. Those kind of bottles, those plastic waste. I realized that after taking the drink, what next? We throw it away. And I say, okay, how can I also what? Recycle this thing or put it into a different way which will be useful. So that was how I also thought, and I used those things to actually design the mics. The picture, if you look at the picture there, you see that everything there is plastic. Even the microphone system, the system itself to which the mics are connected to, that whole system itself is a plastic box that I designed. I put the components inside. So that one is also a way of recycling waste material or putting them into another use after the original use. And even if we compare what I have done to the original use of the plastic material, you will realize that even what I have done is even more useful than the original use. For instance, if you go and buy this apple drink, the bottle plus the drink itself is maybe 3 cedi or 4 cedi. But you ask one mic, the microphone, if you are to buy a single mic, how much is it? Sometimes 30 cedi or even more than 30 cedi. So if you compare the original thing price to what I have converted it to, you will realize that what I have converted it to is even more efficient than the original use. And that is a kind of innovation and then tech solution that I have done. But that is not the end because after school, when I came home, in fact, I have seen a lot of problems. But what happens is that it's just the support. If I could get the support and the needed assistance, I bet you things will change. A lot of things, because when I came home, I saw many problems. Even as I now, yesterday like this, a parent was complaining to me at home that she doesn't even have a flashlight, and last, that she nearly got bitten by a snake because she was not having light and she wanted to enter her room. She nearly stepped on a snake because there is no light. And what happened is that she bought all the torches, and then the battery, and became tired. She doesn't even have money to buy again. So with this, I have, in fact, it concerns me, because if I look at this, it means if she has students at home, definitely they don't have light that they can use to study. That is just exactly the point. Because if they don't have torchlight that they can use to pick something in the room, it means there is no light that the student can use to study. And that one is affecting us here. Imagine you don't have light to study here. Then you get up to go and write exam. How do you pass? Because you do not read. How do you pass? So at least I am not only going to focus on only studies, but also solving local problems. A lot. Because as for the electricity, they can bring it to your house, but there can be fault. For instance, if they get up a day and then wind blow and break one of the poles, that day automatically there will be light out. Can you steady? So there have to be some alternative way aside the electricity. One next, or even if there is electricity and you are to foot to somewhere just a distance away from your house, you can't follow the electricity to that place. Yes, definitely you need something that you can pick in your hand, just like a torch or some kind of thing. And then some were also telling me that yes, what happens is that now the economy is hard. They cannot even buy dry cell. You see, so though they have the torchlight, but they cannot buy dry cell to light it. So all these concern us. So if there will be some kind of assistance, in fact, we will be able to train with the little knowledge that I have. I will train some of the students. In fact, especially the junior high schools, I'll move from school to school to teach them how to assemble simple rechargeable light, LED light for their studies. If I can get the support and they go ahead, I think this is what I am much concerned for. Because you can have the knowledge, but if you don't have the assistant, you cannot go anywhere. Just like the students, yeah, they have come to school, you have taught them, you give them notes. But when they get home and there is no light for them to study, still, it's cosmetic. They are not going anywhere. So I think this is a little lesson that I want to share with. Because last when I posted my microphone system on my YouTube channel, some people were asking like they think the way I posted it, they don't understand it and they don't have fair knowledge about the whole thing. So I should have explained the thing better. Yes, I have that time. The system has designed to solve a specific problem. I am still arranging a day that I will meet with the senior high school so that I will really let them practice the thing. Then I will video it and bring it back to my channel for you to now see the real problem I wanted to solve. So I'm still making arrangements. If I get the chance, if the time is okay, I'll do it and bring it to my channel. You all see what exactly what I'm talking about and the kind of problem it is actually going to solve. So I have done my descent, the model, I have done the prototype. It's now left with, because the idea has been manifested. I will show it to you. Then if they are now seeing that the thing is helpful, that is where I will now need the support. If you will support, then the idea will work. But if you don't support, it is not something that I can also do. I have identified the problem and I'm bringing you the solution. So if you will assess, then it will become finalized. So I think this is just a little lesson I want to share with you. Thank you for your time.